What if I told you that the one thing standing between you and the life you've always wanted is something you can't even see? It's not money, it's not time, it's not even luck. It's the fog in your mind, the lack of clarity that's keeping you stuck in confusion, chasing goals that don't matter, and ignoring what truly does. Today we're diving into a book that will show you exactly how to clear that fog and finally see the path forward. This is Clarity by Steven Cesari, and trust me, by the end of this summary, you'll understand why thousands of people call this book life-changing. Hello friends, welcome everyone to BookBreeze. Today we are going to talk about the book Clarity, How to Get It, How to Keep It, and How to Use It to Balance Your Life by Steven Cesari. Michael, a 32-year-old ordinary man living in Seattle, always wanted to achieve something big in his life, but he would constantly get stuck in some confusion. With his first cup of morning coffee, only one question spun in his mind: what am I really doing with my life? His job was decent, but the sense of satisfaction was missing. Compounding this were household responsibilities, student loans, and the pressure to prove himself. One day, as Michael was rearranging his old books, he found a book in a dusty cardboard box. Clarity, How to Get It, How to Keep It, and How to Use It to Balance Your Life by Steven Cesari. He couldn't remember when he had bought it. Casually, he began flipping through the pages. On the very first page, written in bold letters, was "The Importance of Clarity." Below it was written, "Developing clarity in your life is crucial for making informed decisions and achieving your goals." Reading this line, Michael paused. Perhaps this was the very thing missing from his life. He picked up his coffee mug and sat comfortably on the couch. He began reading the first chapter. Chapter 1. The first chapter explained that clarity is not just about seeing or understanding things. It is about understanding what your priorities are, holding on to what truly matters, and eliminating other distractions. There was a line that made Michael think. A clear vision allows you to navigate challenges more effectively. Michael questioned himself, what is my vision? He didn't know the answer, and that was his biggest problem. He read further in the book that clarity not only helps you make the right decisions, but also ensures your energy and time are invested in the right place. Michael felt as if this book was written just for him. The book gave him a small exercise. It instructed him to write down the 5 most important things in his life. Michael picked up a pen and, after some thought, wrote family, health, career, financial freedom, peace of mind. As he wrote, he realized that his daily life was going in a direction completely different from these 5 priorities. He had no time for his family. Don't even ask about health. His gym membership was limited only to the card. He never got time to think about career growth. Financial freedom was just a struggle to pay student loans and bills. And peace of mind was like a luxury item, something everyone else seemed to have, but not him. Michael felt a bit nervous, but deep down, he also felt a sense of relief. He was finally understanding the actual root of his problems. He read in the book that the first step to gaining clarity is to identify your distractions. He thought, what are my distractions? And he noted, wasting hours on social media, comparing myself to others, overthinking about minor things. The book suggested that the best way to handle these distractions is to pause and reflect. That is, every time you feel confused, just take a pause and think about why you are doing it and the purpose behind it. Michael decided that for the next 7 days, he would pause and reflect before making every decision. He closed the book and started his day. The first challenge came that same evening. His college friend Jake called him and said, "Let's go to Miami this weekend, man." Michael was about to say yes, but then he remembered to pause and reflect. He asked himself, is this trip fulfilling any of my priorities? He realized that his current goal was financial freedom, and a Miami trip would only put a dent in his savings. He politely declined. Jake joked a bit, "Man, you've become boring." But surprisingly, Michael didn't care. For the first time, he felt clarity in his decision. The next day, another interesting thing happened at the office. His boss wanted to assign a new project that was bound to involve overtime. Michael was about to say yes, but then he paused and reflected. He thought, if I take this project, what will happen to my health and family time? He respectfully refused. His clarity was slowly becoming visible in every aspect of his life. He no longer looked at things only superficially. He tried to understand the why behind them. Michael had now started carrying a small notebook in his pocket in which he wrote 3 things at the end of every day. Did I focus on my priorities today? What things were distracting me? Did I make decisions with clarity? Gradually, changes began to appear in his life. His stress level was decreasing. He felt more confident. He thought, if just the first lesson on clarity has made such a difference in my life, what will the subsequent lessons reveal? After finishing the first chapter of the book, he wanted to move on to the next chapter. But just then there was a knock on the door. His 6-year-old daughter came running to Michael to show him her drawing. She said, "Dad, look, I drew your picture." Michael realized that clarity is about seeing the things that are right in front of us, but which we often ignore. He picked up his daughter and looked at the entire drawing with her. Michael thought, perhaps this is clarity, not just writing down your priorities, but feeling them. He decided that he would spend time with his daughter and wife next weekend. The story didn't end here. A new journey had begun within Michael, a journey of redefining his goals and priorities. He started reading the next chapter of the book, but a question lingered in his mind. Can my clarity become even stronger by sharing it with others? Chapter 2. When Michael started the next chapter of the book, it had the title written in bold letters, Life with Intentionality. The lines below caught his attention. Living with a sense of purpose means being active about your choices, not reactive. Clear intentions align your daily activities with your long-term goals. He closed the book and shut his eyes for a while. He recalled the changes that had occurred in the past week. The first lesson on clarity had taught him how important it is to identify priorities. But now the question was how to achieve those priorities. This was the question in his mind when he started reading the chapter. This lesson began with a small anecdote. A man who took decisions every day without thinking never succeeded in anything. But when he started living his life with intentionality, taking every decision thoughtfully and with purpose, his entire life changed. Michael wondered, can I do that too? Can I live my life intentionally instead of just reacting to it? The book suggested the first step: define your intentions clearly. This meant starting your day by thinking about what the focus should be today. That morning, Michael wrote in his notebook, I will definitely have dinner with the family today. I will review my pending financial goals. I will spend only 15 minutes on social media. Michael felt that once he set these 3 simple intentions, he felt like he had a roadmap. He was no longer doing things randomly. His first test came in the morning itself. His wife, Sarah, said, "Come home early for dinner tonight. It's been a long time since we ate together." Michael immediately said, "For sure." But at the office, his boss suddenly scheduled an urgent meeting that was going to stretch late into the evening. Michael had a choice. He could react, attend the meeting, and skip the family dinner, or he could intentionally choose his priority. He paused and reflected. He remembered that he had set the intention in the morning to have dinner with his family. He politely requested his boss if the meeting could be scheduled for the next day. Maybe luck was on his side. The boss said, "Okay, we can move it to tomorrow morning." Michael realized that if he hadn't intentionally chosen his priority, he would have likely reacted and missed the family dinner. In the evening, when he sat at the table, Sarah said, "Thank you, Michael. This means a lot." And their daughter happily shared that she had made new friends at school. Michael realized that intentional living is not just about achieving big goals, it's also about valuing small moments. The second step in the book was be proactive, not reactive. This meant not leaving your life on autopilot mode. When a situation arises, instead of reacting, think about how you can align that moment with your goals. The next day, Michael had another test at the office. His colleague Tom suddenly took leave and his workload fell on Michael. Earlier, Michael would have gotten irritated and complained, but this time he intentionally thought, does this situation align with my career goals? Michael realized that this was an opportunity to prove himself. He accepted the work, but at the same time he clearly told his manager that he wanted some extra resources to handle it efficiently. The manager was impressed, and Michael was praised in the next month's performance review. The book suggested that the third step of intentionality is review and adjust. Michael decided he would work on his financial freedom goal. He started analyzing his monthly expenses. He saw that unnecessary subscriptions and impulsive online shopping were eating into his savings. He made a simple rule. Before making every expense, pause and ask yourself, does this align with my financial goals? One day he saw an expensive gadget online that he really liked. He was about to buy it when he paused and thought, will this support my savings goal? The answer was clearly no. He put the gadget on his wish list and avoided it. Slowly, Michael's daily choices began to align with his bigger goals. He realized that intentional living is not just about abandoning reactive behavior, but about finding purpose in every decision. Then, one weekend, Sarah said, let's go out somewhere. It's been a long time since we had an outing. Michael's first instinct was to think it would be an unnecessary expense. But then he paused and asked himself, is this important for my family's happiness and bonding? The answer was yes. He immediately made a plan and they spent the entire weekend at a nearby mountain resort. Michael read in the next section of the book that there is another important element in intentional living. Learn to say no. He understood that when you say yes to everything, you waste your energy and time on things that don't match your priorities. Now, whenever someone invited him for something that didn't match his priorities, he would politely decline. He realized that every no gave him more space for his priorities. One day, his old friend Brian called him and said, "Man, you must come to my party. All of our old friends are coming." Michael initially thought he should go, but then he paused and thought, does this align with my goals? He realized that he wanted to focus on his health at the moment, and a late-night party was not right for him. He refused Brian. Brian showed some displeasure, but Michael didn't feel guilty inside. Michael's life was now moving towards intentionality. He felt clarity in his decisions. He now defined the purpose of every day and planned his daily activities accordingly. But one day he read in the book, intentional living doesn't mean being rigid. It means being flexible with purpose. He wondered, will I ever be able to do this, be purposeful without being rigid? Now, if you're watching this and thinking, this is exactly what I need in my life right now, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because just like Michael is discovering these life-changing lessons chapter by chapter, I'm bringing you powerful book summaries like this every week. And trust me, the next lessons get even more transformative. Don't miss out on the clarity you deserve. The next day at the office, a new situation gave him a chance to think about this. His manager suddenly came and said, "We need to change the project timeline. Can you adjust?" Earlier, Michael would have gotten irritated, but now he paused and thought, is this flexibility necessary for my career goals? He told himself that sometimes intentionality also means compromise, if that compromise supports your bigger picture. Michael learned one more big thing from this lesson in the book. Intentionality is not a one-time process. It has to be practiced every day, every moment, and in every decision. On the last page of his notebook, he wrote one thing: live each day with purpose so that when you look back, you don't regret how you spent your time. Michael was now curious about what the next lesson in the book would teach him. He closed the book and started setting intentions for his next day. Chapter 3. The following morning, Michael opened the book's next chapter. The title was written in bold letters, "Balance is Key." Below it was written, "Achieving balance in the various aspects of life, work, relationships, health, and personal growth is essential for overall well-being." Michael started reading the chapter, but his eyes kept stopping at one line. When one area of your life constantly troubles you, the imbalance causes stress and dissatisfaction. He paused and looked at his life. He thought, "Am I able to maintain balance in my life?" The answer was clearly no. Office deadlines were so heavy that he often missed family time. Health seemed to have disappeared from his priority list. Personal growth was limited to watching a random YouTube video on Sunday. Relationships, weeks would pass without talking to friends or relatives. The book told a short story, a man who got so lost in his career that he completely ignored his health and relationships. He earned a lot of money and got promotions, but when he got a chance to look back, he had regrets instead of happiness. Reading this, Michael's heart felt heavy. He thought, "Am I doing the same thing?" He decided he would fix this imbalance. He started paying attention to the strategies given in the chapter. The first step was identify the pillars of your life and assess their current state. The book stated that the 4 main pillars of life are work, relationships, health, personal growth. Michael took out his notebook and created a page for each of the 4 pillars. He wrote, "Work, taking too much time and energy. Satisfaction is decent, but stress is too high. Relationships, family time is decreasing. Connection with friends and relatives is almost gone. Health, neglected. Gym membership is limited only to the card. Diet is completely unhealthy. Personal growth, sporadic. I read books sometimes, but there is no consistent effort." When he looked at these 4 pillars, he realized that all his energy was going into work and the other 3 areas were suffering. The book suggested that the first step to bringing balance is to set boundaries for each area. Michael wondered, what does setting boundaries mean? The book explained that boundaries mean dedicating time and space for each aspect. He decided that he would not do office work after 7 p.m. every evening. He would have an outing or an activity with the family every weekend. He would reserve 30 minutes for exercise every morning. He would work on a new skill or a book every week. Initially, Michael felt all this was unrealistic. He thought that if he tried to do everything, the imbalance would persist. The next day, he started implementing his boundaries. The first challenge came at the office. An urgent email arrived at 7:15 p.m. Earlier, Michael would have replied immediately, but this time he paused and thought, "Is this breaking my set boundary?" He left the email until the next morning. In the beginning, he felt some guilt, but when he saw that the email could have been handled in the morning too, he understood that it's not necessary to react to every urgent thing. The second step was learn to prioritize without guilt. The book explained that balance does not mean giving equal time to everything. It means giving everything as much time as it deserves. Michael applied this strategy to relationships. His wife, Sarah, often complained that he didn't make time for the family. This time he intentionally dedicated the entire Sunday to his family. They planned a fun picnic. While Michael was at the picnic, a friend called, casually asking him to meet outside. Earlier, Michael would have said yes, but this time he refused. He didn't feel guilty because he realized that his current priority was his family. The third step in the book was take care of yourself first. It said, you cannot pour from an empty cup, meaning if you don't take care of your own health and well-being, it will impact all other aspects. Reading this, Michael remembered his neglected health routine. He decided he would fix his health. He renewed his gym membership and started a daily morning walk. The first day he went for a walk, he felt it was a waste of time. But by the third day, he realized that this 30 minutes in the morning was making him feel mentally fresh and physically active. He also started paying attention to his diet. Slowly, he realized that as his health improved, his work performance and mood also got better. He was more energetic and happier at home, too. The fourth step in the book was regularly evaluate and adjust. It stated that balance is not a one-time process. Life is always changing, and you have to adjust your approach with time. A month later, Michael took out his notebook and re-evaluated the 4 pillars. He saw work. Stress has decreased after maintaining boundaries. Productivity has increased. Relationships. Connection with family and friends has gotten better. Health. Weight has slightly reduced. Energy levels are better. Personal growth. He has read 2 new books and started an online course. Although he felt progress, he also realized that on some weekends he couldn't give time to his family because office work had spilled over. He decided he would focus more on this next month. Michael's life was slowly becoming balanced. He learned from this lesson in the book that balance is not a final destination. It's an ongoing process that has to be practiced every day. He promised himself that he would evaluate his life balance every month. He closed the book and wondered what new lesson the next chapter would offer.
Chapter 4. The next morning, Michael opened the book with his morning coffee and read the new chapter's title, Get Rid of the Junk. The very first line of this lesson made him think. To gain clarity and achieve your goals, you must eliminate the junk that holds you back, be it physical, mental, or emotional clutter. Michael asked himself, what junk is holding me back in my life? Initially, he couldn't quite grasp it, but as he read the chapter, his eyes opened. The book described a small exercise. Take a piece of paper and create 3 columns: physical clutter, mental clutter, emotional clutter. Michael took out his notebook and started writing. Physical clutter. Old clothes kept in the closet for years. Gadgets that are broken, but he never thought of throwing away. Files and random notes lying on the desk that are no longer useful. Mental clutter. The stress of small pending tasks at the office, the never-ending to-do list, overuse of social media. Emotional clutter. Expectations from people that will never be fulfilled, old arguments and grudges that are still in his mind, guilt for his own mistakes. When he wrote all this down, he understood the chaos in his life. The book said that to gain clarity, you must first get rid of this junk. Michael decided that he would work on physical clutter first. The book stated, your physical environment reflects your mental state. He opened his closet and saw that there were many clothes he hadn't worn for years. He asked himself, am I going to wear them again? The answer was clearly no. He immediately made 3 piles. Keep, the clothes that were still usable. Donate, the ones that could be useful to someone else. Throw, the ones that were completely worn out. This process was surprising. He cleared everything and only kept the things that were actually useful. As his desk became clean, he felt that his mind also seemed more organized. The next day, he decided to work on mental clutter. He read in the book that mental clutter often occurs due to unorganized tasks and distractions. The biggest culprit was his endless to-do list. Michael focused on his to-do list. It had small tasks that he would never complete but still remained on the list. He decided that he would either complete those tasks or permanently remove them. He looked at every item on the list and asked himself, is this really important? He crossed off the things that were not necessary. He started prioritizing and made a rule to focus on only 3 important tasks every day. The second big source of mental clutter was social media.
Michael realized that he wasted several hours a day just scrolling. The book suggested that you monitor your phone usage and reduce unnecessary distractions. Michael turned off notifications for social media apps on his phone. He made a rule that he would check social media only twice a day. The first few days were difficult. He repeatedly felt like picking up his phone and opening the apps. But gradually, he realized that by keeping a distance from social media, he had more time and mental peace. Now it was time for emotional clutter. This was the most challenging part. The book said that emotional clutter is the baggage that prevents you from moving forward. Michael asked himself, what are the unresolved emotions in my life? He remembered a few things: an argument with his childhood friend, Brian, after which they hadn't spoken, a misunderstanding with an old colleague, guilt for his past failures. The book said that to get rid of emotional clutter, you have to either resolve it or let it go. Michael first called Brian. It felt awkward at first, but he thought, if I don't take the initiative, this baggage will always stay with me. He talked to Brian and expressed his feelings. Surprisingly, Brian also said that he wanted reconciliation. He wrote an email to his colleague, apologizing for the misunderstanding from his side. In return, the colleague also apologized. Michael felt as if a burden had been lifted from his heart. Handling guilt was the most difficult. He decided to forgive himself for his mistakes. He wrote, "Mistakes make a person better. I will not let them weigh on me." Slowly, Michael started eliminating junk in every aspect of his life. He felt that when distractions and negativity decrease, clarity naturally increases. After this whole process, he wrote in his notebook, "After removing physical clutter, both my space and mind are organized. After reducing mental clutter, it is easier for me to focus. Clearing emotional clutter has improved my relationships and inner peace." He closed the book and wondered if the next chapter would give him an even more powerful lesson.
Chapter 5. The next morning, with his cup of coffee, Michael opened the new chapter of the book. As soon as he read the title, he felt a unique excitement: the power of exposure. The opening lines were, "Growth and clarity come when you step out of your comfort zone and expose yourself to new ideas, people, and experiences." Reading this, Michael felt that this was probably what was most missing in his life. In the past few years, his routine had become so predictable and monotonous that there was no newness or excitement left in it. The book explained that exposure is not limited to just travel. It is connected to everything that broadens your thinking and perspective. Whether it's a new book, a conversation with a stranger, or an attempt to learn a skill. As Michael read the chapter, he questioned himself, when was the last time I stepped out of my comfort zone? He couldn't recall anything specific. He decided that this time he would fully apply the book's lesson to his life. The book suggested a simple exercise. List down 5 new things you've always wanted to try but never did because of fear, laziness, or lack of time. Michael took out his notebook and started thinking. He wrote, learning a new skill, like playing the guitar, going on a solo trip, talking to someone I have always avoided, exploring a completely different culture, contributing to a meaningful cause through volunteering. The first step was try a new skill. Michael thought he had wanted to learn the guitar since childhood, but he was never serious about it. That same day, he searched online and registered for weekend classes at a nearby music school. Michael was a bit nervous going to the first class. The other people there were also new, but everyone's confidence seemed higher than his. In the first session, he was trying to learn some chords and kept making mistakes. But surprisingly, he enjoyed these mistakes. A month later, when he was able to play his first small tune, the joy he felt was something he hadn't experienced in a long time. He understood that learning something new is not just about acquiring a skill, it also gives you a new perspective and confidence. The second step was go on a solo trip. This was the most challenging for Michael. He had always been part of group trips or family vacations, but this time he decided to choose a different place. He headed towards a small town in Colorado. The biggest fear during the trip was, will I get bored alone? But as soon as he started spending time in the peaceful mountains there, he realized that loneliness was not scary. He talked to new people there, a local coffee shop owner, an artist who was seeking inspiration for his art in the mountains, and a solo traveler who was sharing his life stories. These interactions exposed Michael to how unique every person's life is, and how we can take inspiration for ourselves from the stories of others. The third step was talk to someone you have avoided. Michael thought of his office colleague, Rachel, with whom he never got along. They always had formal conversations, and Michael considered her somewhat cold and distant. The book said, sometimes your assumptions about people block you from forming meaningful connections. Michael decided he would intentionally try to talk to Rachel. During the lunch break, he casually sat next to Rachel and started a conversation. It was awkward at first, but slowly he realized that Rachel's cold attitude was actually part of her reserved nature. He asked Rachel about her hobbies and interests, and surprisingly, they found common ground in many things. After that one conversation, his professional relationship with Rachel significantly improved. Michael learned that sometimes exposure comes not just from different experiences, but also from connecting with people with an open mind. The fourth step was explore a different culture. The book suggested that to broaden your thinking, you should try to closely understand another culture. Michael started a conversation with his Asian American colleague, David. David invited him for dinner at his home. There, Michael ate authentic Asian food for the first time and heard about their cultural traditions and festivals. He saw how traditions and values differ in various cultures, but emotions are the same everywhere. This exposure gave Michael a new appreciation for cultural diversity. He felt that until we try to understand other cultures, we cannot get out of our narrow-mindedness. The fifth step was volunteer for a cause. Michael decided that he would contribute to a meaningful cause on weekends. He contacted a nearby nonprofit organization that worked to educate underprivileged children. He was a bit nervous on the first day. He felt he wouldn't be able to teach the children anything. But when he started interacting with the children, he realized that he could learn a lot from them too. One child asked him, "Mister, have you ever dreamed a big dream?" This question stirred him deeply. He realized that the talk of dreams is not limited to privileged people. The small dreams of these children were just as big and beautiful. This experience taught Michael gratitude and humility. He understood that growth is not limited to professional achievements. As he was implementing these steps, he felt subtle but powerful changes in his life. He realized how much difference connecting with new ideas, experiences, and people had made to his thinking and clarity. The final advice in the book was, never stop exposing yourself to the unknown. Every new experience adds a layer to your understanding of the world. Michael promised himself that he would try one new thing every month. And just like Michael transformed his life by applying these 5 powerful lessons, clarity, intentionality, balance, decluttering, and exposure, you too can start your journey today. The question is, which lesson resonated with you the most? Was it the power of pausing and reflecting? Or maybe learning to say no? Drop a comment below and let me know which principle you're going to apply first in your life. And if this summary gave you even one insight that could change your day, your week, or maybe even your entire life, show some love by hitting that like button. Share this video with someone who's feeling stuck or confused right now. They might just thank you for it later. Remember, clarity isn't something you find once and keep forever. It's something you practice every single day. So start small, stay consistent, and watch how your life transforms. This was BookBreeze,
bringing you the wisdom of books in the time it takes to drink your morning coffee. Subscribe for more summaries that could change your life, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay clear, stay focused, and keep growing.